All right, welcome back to Woodland Park, Colorado. I'm being visited by my good friend and gubernatorial candidate, Mr. Mark Baisley, and we are. This conference has been going on since yesterday, and we are uh, attending in support of the conference, but also in support of a lot of the organizations that are here. It's a great event. And how long have you been here, Mark? What have you been up to?
Well, this is my district.
Thank
So
you. Awesome.
I all see my fans are walking by constantly. That's how that works. Yeah, this whole county, Teller County and Woodland Park, and this is my home base here. And so, I love the place. And having Charis Bible College here as a real anchor and the largest employer in the area, and just a great educational institution. In fact, I will be teaching here, as I've done every fall since I've been in the legislature. So I teach the legislative process in the fall right here in this building, and that starts up about 4 weeks from now, I guess, for me.
Okay.
So yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how the campaign is going.
So well, had a real good fundraiser last night. The fundraisers for me have been kind of topical, and this kind of happened not by design, but I go that worked well. I'm going to keep doing that. And so there was the group, the optometrists, told me they would like to host a fundraiser for me because they like the cut of my jib, or they like the way I vote, or something. But
did you see eye to eye?
Right,
I couldn't resist.
That was good. So they held a fundraiser for me, and I thought, you know what, that really worked well. It was a good fundraiser, plus, and it was folks coming together that knew each other and all had the same purpose. And their thinking is, if we get Mark Baisley in as governor, then that's going to make our industry better. So which I believe to be the case. I'm trying to make all industries, most industries, better for Colorado. Excuse me. So then I've been talking with other industries, and so that's what we're doing. So I've got 3 more scheduled this month, and others that are in the planning stages. And so last night was military folks at the Air Force Academy, or actually just outside of the academy, because we probably can't do it on the academy grounds, but at the new hotel there. So that's how the fundraising is going well. But also, I'm just driving all around the state a lot and meeting with people and having those, I'll say not 1-to-1, but those 1-to-8 conversations or so with local folk, and I thoroughly enjoy that. Like, I'll buy breakfast and we'll sit around at a cafe and sip coffee out of really
Those
big
are always
cold mugs.
those are always good ways to get together with smaller groups, and then they kind of disseminate what you discuss, and I think it works well for a campaign to have those kind of events interspersed within the larger ones. But it's been a horrific week, obviously.
It has.
And we've been focused on this horrific assassination of Charlie Kirk, and
Heartbreaking.
it was like a kick in the gut for me.
Yes.
When I was just pulling into the King Super parking lot, and I was listening to Clay and Buck, and Clay got on and said that they had some news about the event Charlie Kirk was at, and then they reported this is right about the time it was happening, or a little after, reporting that he had been shot in the neck and taken to the hospital, and they didn't have any further updates. And then within a couple hours, I guess, the president came on Truth Social and announced that Charlie had passed away.
Yeah.
And that was just, I mean, after hearing the reports, I prayed a lot that just knowing the logistics of the injury, that the chances were not good. So, where were you, and what were your reactions to?
You know what? That's such a great question because this is you and I are both old enough to remember the JFK shooting, and we all know where we were when we learned about the JFK shooting.
I was in the 9th grade in military school.
Very good. Yeah, and I remember my teacher told the class just the last thing she said before the bell rang for us to go home that day, and it was in elementary school, and she goes, she just says, "Class, I need your attention. President Kennedy has been shot," and then she burst into tears and ran out of the room. And we're like, "What?" Anyway, so where was I? I was at home, and my wife comes up to me with her iPad and just goes, "Look, Charlie Kirk's been shot." And I'm like, "What?" And then as soon as I heard that he was shot in the throat, I thought, well, you don't survive that typically. And so I assumed he would die, but it still hit me like a ton of bricks when the report came in. Really what an incredible loss.
My thoughts immediately turned to his wife and children. I mean, that was the first thing that popped into my head. It's like, what in the world, this maniac, doing such a heinous act. A guy who gave people a voice to express their opinions, to debate peacefully, and not necessarily having to agree. But I saw many of his events, and I actually saw him actually turn the opinions of some of the people that he talked to, just from the interaction.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And he always gave people. In fact, he insisted on bringing up people to the microphone that disagreed with him the most, because he wanted to have that debate and try to understand what formulated their thought process, and then he would have a chance to respond. And his method was just uncanny. I mean, I'd never seen anybody that had that ability to interact with people that were obviously vehemently opposed to him and come away with not necessarily always a change of heart, but at least they walked away with a thought that, hey, the guy was respectful and let me speak, and he got to speak, and they had an exchange. So
yeah, he was a real evangelist in effect, because he was aligned with God, and therefore aligned with what our founding document calls the laws of nature and of nature's God.
Yep.
In other words, natural law, as the founders gave us when they established this country in the first place. Excuse me, Hugo. Anyway, they
we don't have a cough button.
Sorry, yeah,
That's okay.
Sorry, folks. Still getting over this cough. It's been worse, by the way. Interviews before have been worse. So Charlie would hear these people talking that were in rebellion against natural law, and he would try to help them come to kind of an alignment, not a compromise so much, but to start reconciling the reason that God gave them with natural law. And he knows that they can get it, but when they're in rebellion against it, then they're going to just debate, argue, and fight, which is what liberalism is all about, in my opinion. Is that I define liberalism as being a rebellion against tradition, a rebellion against wisdom. And but when you rebel to that extent that the shooter did, says, I don't even want to hear the challenge to my rebellion, and so I want to silence you. And that level of hatred, rather than being willing to be introspective and look at and re-examine your own belief systems, your own worldview against what is in nature, God's design, then that's where they explode. And it's evil is what I think. That's maybe the definition of evil right there.
Well, I just got through listening to a 12-minute video of a response to the left, and I posted it on my Facebook.
Oh, I'll have to look.
It's one of the best put together 12 minutes that I've heard.
Wow.
And I totally agree with it. You need to take a look at it.
Okay.
But it was,
I will.
I'm trying to remember the name of the gentleman, but he was speaking about a representative up in the Northeast, Democrat, who, you know, and the gist of it was that, you know, all these Democrats and other leftists are coming along now saying, oh, we need to come together and we need to, you know, put this behind us and stop it. And this guy responded just perfectly. Calm, very calm, but perfectly. It's amazing. I loved it. I'm going to keep that clip. I'm going to put it up as many times as I can because it was perfectly stated. There is no reconciliation here. This is, I feel, one of the things that I've formulated in my mind is I feel like this is going to be a catastrophic event for the left because not only have they awakened a sleeping giant in the youth, I firmly believe that they have crossed that proverbial line. I think this is going to be one of those seminal moments in history that changes the path of America. And I was telling Nick, my co-host, you know, I said, you know, this guy meant it for evil, but I know God will turn it into good. And that's my belief. I feel like that's where we're headed. And I'm not advocating any revenge or violence or anything. I'm advocating now speaking out against what just took place.
Yeah.
They killed a man for speaking his mind. Just wrap your head around that for a minute. This Charlie Kirk was not a hateful person. These idiots, excuse me, but this is what they are. CNN, MSNBC, within hours, they were coming out and, you know, this, what's his name? Matthew Dowd. Did you see what he said?
No.
Well, he got fired. They fired him.
I heard they fired somebody.
They fired Matthew Dowd
because
he came out and said, well, if you go out and speak hate, you can expect these kind of things to happen. And they fired him.
Good.
Yeah. That was just totally, completely out of line. You know, you can't prove to me that Charlie was ever hateful. I've watched hundreds of his videos. I have never once seen him respond hatefully or derogatorily to anybody. He always was matter of fact. He accepted. In fact, he took a lot more guff, you know, from people, and he was calm as a cucumber. You know, that's an ability that I totally admire because I am incapable of that. If somebody attacks me, I fire back. But you know, Charlie had this way about him that was always he brought in what they were saying, and then he would respond as calm as you could, you know, think about anyone responding. And so this nonsense that he was spreading hate and that he was somehow derogatorily describing certain people is totally false. You can't find me a video where he did that. He spoke the truth biblically. He spoke the truth from his heart, and he always had facts to back it up. He was very well informed and educated, and he wasn't even a college graduate.
Yeah,
he dropped out of college.
I didn't even know he'd attended college at all.
Yeah, he started and then dropped out. Said this is not for me.
Sure.
And then that's when he started the Turning Point movement. But what he accomplished in a short 13 years is just phenomenal.
It really is.
So I don't know. People say, well, who's the next Charlie Kirk? I don't think there is the next Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
He was one of a kind.
Yeah, he's a one-off.
So,
well, so Nicholas and I just attended a meeting earlier that I just came from to here, where Britta Horn, the chair of the Republican Party for the state, read off a lot of comments from the state party website from people who are signing up and converting from Democrat registration to Republican registration, especially younger folks, because of the Charlie Kirk incident, to where it was the last straw. They were questioning whether their party has lost its mind, and this just confirmed it for them. So she read like 6 or 7 of them, and she said, and I've got a bunch more here. So I think there might be a watershed moment where this does just a flashpoint there. So it's a awfully high price to pay, for that. But that may be
the youth. The result. From what I'm seeing, the youth are engaging now. This is mobilized a movement, and I firmly believe that now's the time to speak to that body and speak to them truthfully, and I believe that they're ready. I think this is going to be one of Charlie's legacies that he left behind, and I think that if we don't take advantage of it as a Republican organization nationwide, then something's wrong, because they're there. I've spoken to many myself, and I've seen videos of youth groups that are, and I also seen statistics that show the 18 to 39 age group is moving exponentially towards the Republican Party.
Wow.
So that's huge.
Yes, it's huge.
And these are young people who,
like you and me.
Yeah, like you, and young people who have not necessarily voted in the past. They have kind of stayed on the sidelines. They've been indoctrinated with the woke thing, but there's been a pushback against the woke mentality now, and these young people in that age group, I firmly believe, are now poised to change the dynamics of the politics in this country. And I applaud that, because I was telling Nick, I said, look, I'm on my way out, not anytime soon, I hope, but I'm on my way out. I've been there, I fought the fight, and I said, it's time for your generation to come up and take the lead. And this is something that Charlie Kirk has left behind. I'm curious, is anybody else to see, who's going to continue the Turning Point organization, but I firmly believe there's going to be a good, solid group, if not one individual.
Well, he's inspired the whole generation. So
he has.
So I'm sure that organization will continue and thrive.
I think it's going to flourish. I think they're going to see a huge influx of young people signing up to join the movement. So anyway, it's like I said, it's been a tough week. We're all mourning, but I think Charlie would want us to fight on and continue the good fight, and not respond in a negative manner. If information is correct, of course, they now have the person in custody. I know that the investigations are ongoing, so I'm not going to speculate on what else is coming on, but I have a sneaky suspicion that this guy didn't act alone. I don't know what, it's just my gut.
We will find out, I'm sure.
We'll find out.
They're all over it. Well, all right, my friend. Well,
I appreciate you.
Yeah. Much better days ahead for America and the world. God bless Erica Kirk and their kids, and thank you, Lord, for giving us Charlie as long as we had him.
Yep. Absolutely. It's been great having you here today, Mr. Baisley,
Thank you.
gubernatorial candidate.
Thank you, Hugo.
Among many.
There's only
How many are there now? 16?
I think there's 1,461.
Remember the song was 14,643 guitar pickers in Nashville?
That's a different radio station than I always listen to. But I did learn something today in this sitting here, that cucumbers are not only cool, they're also calm.
They're also calm.
So, all right.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you for coming by.
Thanks, buddy.
And, good luck on the campaign trail.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Take care.